All right, so don't say it anymore, guys. You know what I'm talking about. Hello, and welcome to the Royds Review Podcast. I'm Rob.
And I'm Andy.
And we are here today to talk about The Fly. Welcoming back to the program, Jon Von Frankenstein.
Hello, everyone. It's Frankenstein, actually.
Oh, Frankenstein. Damn it.
I'm happy to be back. I'm glad that you guys wanted to have me on another one.
Now, Frank Stone, is that any relation to Keith Stone from the Natty Light commercials?
Yeah, it's the same family.
Nice.
I don't think that's Natty Light, Robbie. I think it's Keystone Light.
I think you're right. It's all swill.
It's all the same thing. It's all piss water at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. You are for true.
But thank you guys for welcoming me back one more time.
I thought you were just thanking us for guys. I was like, hey, no problem. I don't mind I'll send those Filipino twinks to your house any day, John.
Whoa! Come on, Rob.
What?
Send them Prime next time.
Okay, send them through Prime. You know Bezos does it. There's definitely like, you type in a code on Amazon, you get to the Filipino twink section.
All right, this is getting cut.
Wait, which term is it that's getting cut? The Filipino or the twink?
I think it's a whole bit because it's for your safety. Jeff
Oh,
Bezos will kill you.
That's true. He'll shine his bald
What's that
head.
red dot on your head?
Oh.
He listens live.
Who doesn't? He's hanging out with the NSA agent.
Nice.
These guys are pretty good.
So, so what movie did you guys invite me back to review with you this time?
We're talking about The Fly.
John, did you watch the movie?
No, I'm gonna watch it right now.
I've watched
Oh. I mean, all right.
This is a Twitch stream.
We're just doing a watch along of The Fly.
The movie's not long. We could wait. Yeah, let's wait.
You know what? No, I can't wait. No, I got things to do.
I understand. Okay.
So, John, how's the podcast going?
The Scrap Metal podcast?
Yes.
It's going awesome.
And now, how was the horror movie festival that just happened a few days ago? Because remember, this is airing on Halloween.
It went fantastic. We packed the house twice over.
Oh my God! It was a
David
fire
Cronenberg
hazard.
showed up.
Holy shit!
Yeah, people were busting down the doors.
And John's gonna be posting
Cronenberg showed up.
Yeah, John's gonna be posting pictures of him and Cronenberg on his Instagram, I'm sure.
Yep. Yes, I will. I promise you that. I promise you I will.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Oh shit! Oh shit! He's calling my bluff.
Well, I can speak from experience as I listened to John's Scrap Metal podcast, and their last episode was about, at least at the time of this record, was about album artwork. And as an Iron Maiden fan, I can attest that album artwork is very important.
Oh yeah.
As it drew me in as a young listener, I said, that looks spooky. Let me check that shit out. Great podcast. You guys should listen to it.
So, Andy, how are you doing?
Now he asks.
Yeah, I was asking our guest first.
I'm good. I'm
polite boy.
I'm feeling pretty good. I just got over a little bug, but I'm feeling better. And yeah, how about you, Robbie?
I'm good. Now, if you're getting over a bug, would you say you're getting over a little fly?
Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Oh, the movie. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. This movie was directed by David Cronenberg.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. And it came out in the year 1986.
The year of our
Now,
Megazord.
let's do what we always do and try our best to make jokes on the fly about on the fly
Oh, got him!
about movies from 1986.
I think this is the first time we're doing a movie from 1986.
I think so too. This was
1986.
Nice. Hey, guys. This was a pretty big year for movies.
But we had Howard the Duck, or Howard the Fuck.
Howard the Cuck. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
I downloaded that one by accident when I tried to watch Howard the Duck.
Oh no.
Completely different movie.
My wife's other lovers call me Coward the Cuck.
Yikes. No. Oh no.
Because I whimper.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like you're not beating off like in the corner. You're like cowering in the closet, beating off. Like like I know.
No,
I hope he doesn't see me,
dude.
but they know.
I'm not even beating off. I'm just crying.
Oh. Oh boy.
This took a dark turn.
Yeah. Aliens came out by... I'm speaking.
Okay.
Aliens came out by James Cameron, a famous James Cameron sequel. It's great stuff.
Yeah, that was one of those where like the first movie's one of those slower paced psychological kind of sci-fi horror movies, and then the second one, James Cameron was just like, we're gonna make this a straight up action movie. Everything is gonna be exploding,
and it's great.
I've never seen either.
Rob's leaving the podcast right now.
Oh, his own podcast.
Oh my god, the guest
Been
kicked me off.
excommunicated.
All right, but John, what did I interrupt you saying?
Thanks, Rob. Short Circuit came out in 1986 as well. Johnny Five Alive.
What the fuck does
I love
that
that
mean?
movie.
Oh, I'm like, what? Is that a reference from the movie?
Yeah, have you not seen Short Circuit?
No.
I have not. No.
Oh, come on.
Is that the movie with the robot?
It's the robot. Yeah, the robot gets struck
Okay.
by lightning, and then he comes out a robot with attitude.
Nice. I'm in.
This summer of 1986, Short Circuit.
I'm in. Color me there.
Little Shop of Horrors comes out in 1986.
You know, I saw a whole thing. I think it was Corridor Crew on YouTube. They broke down like how they did the special effects for the puppet in Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
They fucking they acted that whole scene whenever the puppet is like talking in slow motion.
Yeah,
Just
Rick
so they could
Moranis
get
had
those-
to like walk and move in slow motion so that all the little jitters and everything looked right.
It's insane.
Awesome.
Insane.
That's and that'll be a theme for this episode. At least my talking points is about how good all those little in-camera tricks are in old school movies.
Yeah,
Love that
especially
stuff.
this The Fly. I mean the special effects are they're really
Fantastic.
good. They hold up.
Fantastic.
Hot fi, as you like to say, Andy. Hot fi.
Like
It was at this time we realized we were having some serious technical difficulties. Sorry for that, folks. But going forward, the sound quality should be crystal clear. Thanks for sticking around. I'm giving a thumbs up right now, but you can't tell. All right, back to the show.
Platoon came out. Also, I fucked up my own joke. Nintendo Splatoon 3 is coming out. I think it's a sequel to Platoon from 1986. Anybody else have another movie so I can stop this fucking terrible joke?
Disney's Fuzz Bucket came out.
The fuck is
Yeah,
that?
that's also what I call my the Fuzz Bucket.
Oh, yikes.
Good.
Oh, okay. I read that wrong. That was my dyslexia. I was wondering why Disney came out with a movie called Buzz Fuck It. Stephen King's Maximum Overdrive also came out in 1986. I fucking love that movie. Got tons and tons of AC/DC. It's a great movie.
That's the one. The very
Yeah, it sounds
same.
just like Rob. Is that you? Have you been singing for AC/DC this whole time?
Rob
Yep.
is Brian
That's phenomenal.
Johnson.
Very famous gay porn Top Gun came out.
Nice.
It really is about the romance between Iceman and Maverick. It's a beautiful story. I love it.
Is it Iceman Val Kilmer?
Yes.
Okay.
I haven't seen the sequel. I hear it's like setting the world on fire.
It was great. I loved it. I hadn't seen the original Top Gun until like 4 or 5 years ago. So I went to see Maverick, and I was like, all right, I feel at least like I'm not a fake fan because I've seen the original already.
Right.
And yeah, it was pretty good. I thought that they were going to kill Maverick like 4 minutes into the movie, though. I was legit worried.
That's something that they tend to do sometimes, and like the latest Terminator sequel, they just kill John Connor. Like, right in the spoiler alert, by the way, for like a 5-year-old movie at this point.
Andy. I was about to watch that right after we finished.
Robbie. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
You have never seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, damn.
Pretty good. It's pretty good,
Great
Robbie.
movie. He's a rad dude.
Yeah, he's a real rapscallion.
The Three Amigos came out.
That's us.
Hey!
Yep, we're the Three Amigos. A movie's called Biggles came out. It's just called Biggles. Adventures in Time. That's the worst name for a movie ever. Biggles Adventures in Time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you know what they're in for, but who are the Biggles?
Yeah, what the fuck is Biggles? How about this one? How about this one? I'm really gonna blow your socks off with this one. An American Tail.
Nice.
It's a good movie.
I wasn't wearing
Loved
socks
that
in the
movie.
first place.
Ooh, Robbie, fucking walking around with no fucking socks on over here like a madman.
I'm in my own house,
Yeah.
my guy. I'm in my own
Yeah,
house.
good. I'm just trying to build drama or something. I don't know.
Children of a Lesser God, or as we call them, and then a censor noise will go there and now laugh.
Oh boy.
You should not put a censor note on that. That's funny. That's very funny.
There was a movie called Aladdin that came out, but it's definitely not Disney's Aladdin. It's just
that's Aladdin.
Aladdin.
Yeah, Aladdin.
Aladdin.
A teenager in modern-day Miami finds a magic lantern, and out pops a genie who's been asleep for only 200 years. What a bitch.
Fucking
Played
set an
by Shaq.
alarm. Nice.
You say set an alarm?
Yeah, just set a fucking alarm, dude. Wake up.
Come on.
Join the workforce.
Yeah.
Genie's
Things to
4,000
do.
years old. He's gonna set an alarm?
How about the Highlander? You know, there could only be, I think, like,
A couple.
I think one or two. Like, one or two, I think.
Yeah. There's been at least like 7 of those movies.
Oh,
so
yeah.
They
And there was
fucked
a
up their
series.
tagline.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I used to watch the series all the that's the like weird old school USA and like TNT.
Yeah. I
They
used to
play it
watch that.
constantly.
I used to watch that. Xena, Hercules, all that weird shit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Xena did do that.
Yeah.
I was about to be like, John.
Censor noise goes
Yeah.
here.
I was like, I was not expecting. I was like, no, wait, you're absolutely right. Xena used to fucking wail like that, like Yoko Ono.
Yeah.
Yoko, warrior princess.
Nice.
Yoko and
What was
Gabrielle.
what was that actress's name?
Lucy Lawless.
Lucy Lawless. Back in the day, I was like 8. I was like, step on me, mommy.
Yo, for real though, yeah. Yo, that's not even a joke. That show was an awakening. Her and the assistant, her sidekick.
The assistant taking fucking her paralegal.
They're fighting
Write
some
that down.
Cyclops. They're fighting some Cyclops. She goes, scalpel.
Get me the mace. Get me the mace.
That's all the movies from 1986.
Every
That's not
single
every
one.
movie. There's
That's
also a movie.
all the
Yes,
movies.
it was.
Okay, because
I saw the list.
I was also gonna say Ruthless People because I actually really enjoy that movie.
I've never even heard of it.
It's with Danny DeVito. It's really good. It's funny.
Oh, Donald DeVitus.
Yep. Yep. You know what sucks? Before we started the podcast, I had a joke about a name of a movie, and I lost the movie. And this whole time we've been sitting here telling all these funny jokes, and I haven't been able to tell mine because I forgot which movie it was. So never mind. I'll probably cut that out.
All right. So in this movie, The Fly, that we're all gathered here today for,
fucking church organs are playing and shit.
yeah.
So yes,
was it me or like I watched this with my wife because, well, if you
this
don't
is
know,
a great date night watch.
if you don't know though, like at this point, in the movie The Fly, the Jeff Goldblum of an Adonis, Zaddy, like with a Z, like Zaddy, right? So I was like, I'll show you. You'll fucking see, you son of a bitch. So that's number one, but and I'll get more into that later. But she kept pointing out because he keeps saying in the very beginning, he's like, I'm working on something that's gonna change the world. And my wife kept going, apartments.com. Change your apartment. Change the world. And I was like, that's gold, and I'm using it.
My God. He was so ahead of his time.
It was.
I have seen, actually, it's funny, a few episodes back, Andy, you'd mentioned that you had watched that particular movie from that episode. I think it was Men in Black on TNT and like TBS countless times. And I was like, finally, someone else gets it. I feel like that's such like a Queens, Long Island thing. Because I tell people like, oh yeah, I used to watch that movie on TNT all the time. And they're like, what? Like they just don't get it.
And it would take you like 6 hours to get through like a 2-hour movie because of all the commercial breaks.
Yeah.
I watched this movie way too many times as a kid. And I saw it for the first time when I was way too young.
The Fly?
And I think that's why it stuck with me. It's It has been one of my absolute favorite movies, just from the special effects to Jeff Goldblum, all of it. This was probably like my, I don't know, 12th, 15th time watching it. I don't know, some ridiculous number like that.
Well, you go check the tape and let us know.
All right, I'll be back.
Right,
when I'm done watching the movie, right? Because
go watch it. Well, like this was the first time I ever sat down and watched this, because the only other time I watched any of it, I was like 8, and I was at like my parents' friend's house, and I flicked it on because I was like, oh, it's the guy from Jurassic Park, and I didn't care for it.
You flicked it to The Fly?
Yeah, of course, all the side titty.
You were like, oh shit, it's the guy from Jurassic Park. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my god, side titty. Yeah.
Nice.
I was like, oh, Geena Davis.
So you didn't care for it at 8 years old?
No, I didn't. I was very freaked out by it because in my mind I was like, what if I turn into a fly?
Wait, Robbie, I forgot to ask, being this is boy, am I scared over here, Tober. Did this movie spook you?
At 8 years old, yes.
But on this watch?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
he's far too brave.
I fall in the same boat as Robbie, as I saw it when I was little, and it spooked me. And then as I watched it this time, I was like, I don't remember any of this. And then it got to the very end, and I was like, this part stuck with me. I remember this.
Yeah.
This part fucking spooked the shit out of me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what it, like, I remember full well him, like, the transformation would be like, nah, I ain't feeling this.
Yeah, but the part that really spooked me as a kid, because I never contemplated something like that. I mean, obviously, like a man turning into a monster like that, but like when he teleports again and he's molded with the machine, so he's like fly man machine thing.
Yeah. Brundle Booth.
Yeah, Brundle Booth.
That's what they called it on set.
Really? That's incredible. I love it. But she's like, I can't do it. And he puts the barrel of the shotgun to his head. Yeah. That scared me as a kid. It scared me not in like a boy, am I scared kind of way. It was like a Jesus Christ, this guy is begging for death.
Yeah. I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either. But in that moment, as an 8-year-old, I was like, you can want to die, and that was like the spooky part of it,
right? And that's the great thing about horror movies like this, is that they don't have to be jump scares, and they don't have to be filled with like crazy ass loud noises just to startle you. something like that, where it's like it made you have an existential crisis at 8 years old, is what
Right.
makes a good horror movie. Where finally it clicks in your brain, where you're like, holy shit, you can get to a point where you're like, I've fucking had enough. That's it. Just fucking
Yeah.
blow my
Yeah.
head off, Geena Davis.
Yeah, I'm two
Terrifying.
organic things and also a metal thing at this point. And I'm confused myself.
That's too many things. The thing that scared.
Too many things in one.
I like with like the Fly. He was like, "I'll take over the world. I'm the next step in evolution." And then the Machine, he's like, "I'm too many things."
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. The minute I noticed I was fused with the Fly, I would have just ended my life there.
Well, look, he felt great. That was the thing. He started feeling great.
That's what's
I
fascinating.
think
Yeah.
the moment it happens, and he even says it, like when Geena Davis finally comes back, it's like after 2 weeks, and he's like physically deformed a little bit, and like his ear falls off, and she's
Yeah.
like, "Oh," and then he takes the donut and he vomits. And
Oh
he goes,
yeah.
"Oh, that's disgusting." Like,
Yeah.
right there is like, "Oh, this has gone too far."
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Ending it all.
Yeah, yeah,
Should we start at the beginning?
yeah, probably.
All right. So we open up at a garage sale, and Homer purchases a matter transporter for like
Robbie,
35
Robbie,
cents.
Robbie,
He
Robbie,
argues with
Robbie,
he argues. No, hold on. He argues with Professor Frank, who wants it for like $2.
Oh, you're idle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so then he gets home. He does lots of funny things with it. He pees through it. He gets beer through it. You guys remember this one, right?
Yep.
And then Bart transforms himself into a fly.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Yep.
Good stuff.
That's the one.
This was a really faithful adaptation to that. I'm glad that they stuck so close to the source material. What I wish that modern movies would go back to the sexy 90-minute runtime.
Yes.
Because this
Yes.
movie, the pacing
Yes.
is perfect.
It
It
is.
runs at a clip. They perfectly lay out that 3-act structure. And that's something that like keeps this movie going. When it starts
Right.
to get like really, really heady with the scientific stuff, it grounds you in the fact that it's never weighing you down too much or lingering too much on the science of it all.
And it's still building tension throughout the whole thing.
Oh yeah,
Like,
absolutely. From
Flawless.
one scene to the next, one scene to the
Yes.
next. Like even at the very beginning, they jump right into the movie. They don't
Yeah.
waste a second.
yeah, the characters have already met.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, they're talking.
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't get
Yeah.
any long-winded explanation of, oh, here's Jeff Goldblum on his day of work, and he's a bumbling fool. Here he goes.
Right. And like
Exactly.
through their conversation, you understand why they're there. Like she's a reporter. He's at a science. She's like, "Hey, what's your big thing?" He's like, "Well, I can't tell you here. Maybe take it back to my apartments.com and change your apartment, change your work."
He's in full Jeff Goldblum here.
Yeah.
Yes. And you know what? I have here, I feel like Jeff Goldblum's game only works because he looks like fucking Jeff Goldblum.
Oh yeah.
Like if I were to just start
Unassuming.
talking to a girl and like stumbling on my words, like if I were to mayhaps perhaps mayhaps, like they'd be like, "Shut up, idiot."
He shows
Shut
up
up.
and starts playing the fucking piano.
And she
Like-
right away is like, this is a bad idea.
Yeah, and she goes, "I'm gonna go."
Yeah, she's like,
I was
oh,
Like,
fuck.
no, check this out.
Yeah,
Well-
sit down.
Yeah.
Well, the minute they get to this fucking place, he goes, it's cleaner on the inside. Right there, she should be like, I'm out. I'm out,
Is
bro.
Is this an abandoned warehouse?
But like, I'm gonna be honest.
It's always an abandoned warehouse.
I will be honest. The best type of prostitutes are also cleaner on the inside.
Very good.
Thank you. Thank you.
I also love the bit of like visual comedy that we get after that real quick introduction. Like, here's our cast of characters. Here's Seth Brundle. Here's Ronnie, whatever her last name is. Not only is there chemistry there because Geena Davis and Jeff Goldblum were dating at the time,
Yeah.
but the visual comedy of them pulling out to that third person view, that mid shot.
He wasn't
and
pulling out at
seeing
all in
how
this.
Very good. Very good.
there you go. I laid that up for you. That was me miming a layup.
On
when
this
you
audio
realize-
medium.
When you realize just how close he was standing in front of Geena Davis, where
Yeah.
you realize he's like, I'm
Yeah,
I'm
he's-
creating something that's going to change the world. 3 inches from her face.
Yeah.
She's like, I get you,
And
man.
did he think that she was like a science groupie? How did he not know that she was a reporter?
Because he's a
What did
fucking
he think she
incel.
was?
He thought it was
Yeah.
a date.
And that's the other thing is like, I feel like this movie is like, all right, this takes a Jeff Goldblum guy, like a real suave, cool guy, and turns him into a real fucking freak.
But that's,
Yeah.
hold on. That's
Like,
really,
by the end, he's like,
that's just American films, though, is to take a guy who's like really good looking and be like, all right, play a creepy guy. They're not just going to get an ugly creep to play a creep. They'll just cast me then.
Well, I mean, I feel like Adam Driver is the new Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Like your strange looking guy that somehow is still the leading man. Actually, in my notes, I have 80s movies were the best. Weird Scientist, Hot Lady, totally bang.
I have this note, and this is I must have been high as balls when I wrote this, because she meant beautiful lady. I wrote, Geena Davis is a timeless beauty. And I was
Robbie
like,
was over here writing prose.
Yeah, I was like, I think I'm in love with Geena Davis, guys.
Don't blame
honestly,
you.
what happened to Geena Davis? Is she still active?
She does a lot of activism. She made a couple of bad movies.
Oh. I know she did that pirate movie that like sunk Hollywood, like the entire town of Hollywood.
Oh shit! All the water from that film.
Yeah.
I love that. Again, like we get right to the point. We get the motivation for Seth wanting to create these telepods as well. He's in the car. He's getting motion sickness. He's figuring, okay, I'm going to change the world as we know it by creating a way where no one will ever have to get car sick or bicycle. What does he say? Like tricycle sick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he really is trying to create something that's incredible. But what does like? Was
He
there
gets
no
sick in
oversight
cars,
committee?
But he's gonna go into a fucking booth that dissolves him.
Yeah. Disassembles and reassembled over there, and
he goes,
change the world as we know it.
May I have something personal of yours? And she's like, sure, and gives her her stocking.
Yeah,
and he's like,
they should have just had him turn like away from the camera and just sniff it.
or he just puts it in his pocket and he's like,
okay, thanks, you can go now. I teleported it.
Oh no, the experiment didn't work.
Yeah. And
but, like the like you said, his intentions are pure. Like he wants to legitimately change the world, but I think his ambitions are a bit high because he's like, I won't show it to anyone unless I can do people. But like, dude, you can make so much money if you just fucking sell it now. Like you can shipping in general, you would change
exactly.
it forever. Like, let someone else figure out the next step. You're gonna be a filthy rich man.
You want to know how Amazon Prime works?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you would be Jeff Bezos.
You
dude.
sold this thing. You could have 8 Geena Davises.
He is so wrapped up in his own world and wrapped up in his ambition that's why whenever he goes on these long fucking soliloquies, he's like, oh well, jump into the gene pool and this and that. It's someone who obviously does not have very good social skills, is just accustomed to talking to themselves and talking themselves up, and they're boosting their ego in that sense. He's very, very full of himself, and that's his hubris is where he goes wrong. And go ahead.
That speaks to like it's kind of like a stereotypical scientist. Is a lot of them don't have great social skills, and they do have a huge ego. They get like a god complex and all that.
Exactly.
And I think he's a very good example of that trope.
Yeah, I somewhere in my notes I have something down that like, God damn, that's some Mary Shelley shit, because it's true. This is like an extreme version of Frankenstein, and I haven't read the original story that both movies, the original 1950s movie and this one, are based off of, but I'm sure that it ties in to that kind of Mary Shelley Frankenstein kind of trope, and a lot of times in movies too, like you see what Veronica goes through when she figures out like, okay, this guy's kind of nuts, but I guess it's kind of cool. Like he's definitely doing something new. A lot of times nowadays you watch a movie like this and you're like, why are you staying? why he asked you to document it, but why the fuck
Yeah.
didn't you run? Her own ambition also gets wrapped up in this, and it makes sense.
Yes.
The motivation of her staying, she's like, cool, I'm gonna have a real big story. He's giving me an opportunity to follow this from the beginning and document everything.
And he fucks me for hours on end.
yeah, he's got that Goldblum wiener. But like they also make a point of saying like, oh, this amount of time has passed. So it's not like this is like in 3 days. This is in like months.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they would build a relationship throughout this time.
Yeah. Which is
like that. That is important to me because like in a lot of movies, it's like in 8 hours, they're like, we're in love. That's my soulmate. So you don't even fucking know him.
Yeah.
But in this point, they're spending nights upon nights, hours and hours together. It's like, okay, yeah, that would make sense. You would build a relationship like that. And it's good. This is a good movie.
And it's
Even
that working
after she sees him murder a baboon.
Oh yeah, that scene is so. That's like, one of the scenes that stuck with me as a kid. The baboon
that was pretty
being turned inside out is
and
sick.
It's like squiggling and wiggling.
Yeah, it's like shuddering. It's like
There's a worse scene that was cut from the movie. I don't know if you guys read up on this. The monkey cat scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I read.
They wound up cutting the scene because they still wanted the audience to feel some form of sympathy for Brundle by the end of the movie. So there was a scene where towards the end, when he figures out like, oh, I can purify myself by adding other pieces, he transports the second baboon and a cat that he found like a stray. And it makes this monkey cat and it attacks him and then he just beats it to death. So they were like, test audiences were like, no, let's fucking cut this.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, but
I
like,
would have loved that.
We found the audience that they were looking for.
But you know what's great? That explains that scene in the Simpsons parody when the cat and the dog become one thing.
Yeah.
That's
what I thought when I read that. I was like,
they definitely read that and was like, twice the pet, none of the mess.
That's some BTS stuff, and I'm talking about the boy band.
I thought you were talking about some BDSM stuff.
You fucking wish.
But yeah, the special effects in that scene, the special effects throughout are done by special effects artist Chris Wallace, who had previously worked on Gremlins, or I think after this, he got Gremlins from his work on this. He also directed The Fly 2, and Stephen Dupois, who also worked with Cronenberg on Scanners and wound up doing RoboCop 2. And like all the body horror that you see in this and the like really gnarly melts, you can see a lot of that in RoboCop as well. So it makes sense.
I will say this, RoboCop 1, that was one of the first things that disturbed me, was the guy who got covered in acid. And then he came out and like his fingers were melting off. He was like, blah, blah. And then the guy was like, fuck you, you freak. And he like pushed him down. I was like, oh my God, is he okay? Somebody help him. Yeah. But then you look at it now and you're like, tee.
Yeah, that's
it's
like,
still disturbing, but it's like,
yeah, like with this movie, we had all talked about having seen it before. So the visuals are no longer disturbing at this point now.
No, they are. They're still disturbing.
They freak me out.
Like, I'm not scared, but I'm definitely like, I'm not getting hard during this. Like, they're disturbing, man.
I mean, the shudder that the baboon was like,
that was,
and I was
like,
oh
yeah.
That I was like, legitimately, I was like, put a bullet in that thing right now.
Yeah, and like my wife, that was where she was like, this movie's fucked. I was like, yeah, it is.
Oh man.
But I have this in my notes. So they just witnessed perhaps the most horrifying thing in their entire lives, in that Inside Out monkey, right? Baboon, rather. And then the next scene, she's like, you wear the same clothes every day. You want some steak?
Yeah.
It's like, are you guys not affected by the fucking atrocity you just committed?
Well, then he fucking makes a steak in the telepod. It's like, she has cancer.
See, here's another thing. As a scientist, Jeff Goldblum, Seth Brundle should know, you do not tell the subject that what they're about to eat is different from the other thing.
Yeah.
Right? That's the test.
I feel like you have to, or else you're liable for giving her cancer.
Yeah, but as soon as he tells her that, she eats it. She's like, it tastes different. It's like, if you didn't tell her, you would get a real response.
Yeah.
That's science 101, baby.
Okay.
I love the concept that fucking horny Veronica solves the puzzle of transportation. She's like, I just want to eat you up. She's like not letting up in that scene at all.
Yeah.
Kissing and biting him.
Yeah, she's about to go down on him, and he's like, wait, let's do science. I'm like, what? What are you doing? What are you doing, my dude? My dude. I'm surprised she didn't get up and go, are you gay? Like, Geena Davis is about to go down on you, and you're going, wait, science. Science!
I said, my dude.
I was like, what are you doing? What do the science after?
Yeah, there's plenty of time for science, but that goes to show.
Do it with a clear
that
head.
goes to show this dude. The dude is obsessed.
Yes,
like he's relentless, and that builds his character more.
Yeah,
but he was such an incel before. He was such an. He's like,
well,
he's like,
I'm
gonna impress this girl with my piano playing, and he's the dude. And then she's like, I'm gonna suck this guy's dick, and he's like, yo, let's do a science experiment instead. It's like, no, get the fuck out of here.
You want to know why the piano playing and his incel worked?
Because he's Jeff Goldblum.
No. It's because of the Jeff Goldblum shimmy walk. His fucking walk. And like when he stands there, the way he does is like Ian Malcolm as well. I mean, my heart was going a flutter. Come on.
I think it was when he took his shirt off. He had cum gutters.
He had what?
What if he
cum gutters?
What if?
Did you see this when he had his shirt? Okay, first of all, I really thought we were gonna see the gold dick today. I really thought in this movie we were seeing it, and we didn't, and I was really disappointed. But he's hanging from that like thing, and he's just cut. He's just honestly, like, I'm doing body shots off that. I'm not even hesitating. Like, give me anything, and I'm like, yeah, let's go. I'm washing my clothes on Jeff Goldblum's abs in this movie. Let's go, baby.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You said cum gutters, and John just goes, his what? Oh my God.
No, he really was like a specimen and a half, but I love him saying, I don't know enough about the flesh. That's just the best fucking way to say you're a fucking verge. Like,
yeah.
She goes, yeah, I know you haven't been able to find the clitoris yet, but
yeah, I'm well aware.
I'll teleport it to where I've been going.
Sex with you is just a war of attrition.
I mean, this whole movie, it's funny. It's like, it's a very sexually charged movie.
Oh, it's horny as fuck.
Yeah.
But then, like, it's also filled with body horror.
Yeah. Well, that's sex.
The juxtaposition. I say words like juxtaposition. But there's like the juxtaposition of those two things. Like, it's jarring, but it also fits. It's a very unique movie, in my opinion. Like, the Thing has body horror, but the Thing's not sexy at all. It's a bunch of just
those guys,
grizzled dudes.
Those guys have been up at that outpost for a long time. You know.
Oh yeah.
I think it's only been 2 weeks.
That's a long fucking time.
This movie's so horny. At one point, Stathis or whatever asks Geena Davis, like, "Do you want to have sex?" Like, outright.
She's like, "You're a pig." You're a
Like,
pig.
he's
like,
"Figured it is." Rat fuck. I still,
okay.
And like the actor is
like
phenomenal, but he plays that character
great.
so well that to this day I hate Stathis. He is just such a scumbag.
Yeah. And like, I like how at the end he's like almost the hero at the end, and I was like, I don't like that he's the hero.
Yeah.
But then he's just, I guess he's the hero in the way that he just brought the shotgun.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I have in my notes, the Brundlefly and Stathis fight is great. Liquefy that hand. Acid bath, bitch. I love a good melt.
Nice.
And it's true. He really does play like that. The way that he plays the obsessed X is this. He's playing it with the same kind of energy that Brundle has for his experiments. It's this toxic obsession, and Geena Davis can't get away from, Veronica can't get away from it on either end.
Yeah.
It's Seth obsessed with his experiments and doing anything and everything to further his progress. And Stathis, who can't get over her, who just fucking lets himself into his apartment, takes a fucking shower,
know?
Like just out and out is
she
like
flushed the toilet. That was great.
Yeah. But so this is the first time that I picked up on the fact that So of course, for those that haven't seen the movie, Seth decides, okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going into the machine. I was going to wait on human testing until after I could test the baboon. And then he decides I'm going to do it myself because who better than to go through this than the creator, right? Sends himself through and a fucking fly gets into the teleporter. So the machine not only
Oh, I must have skipped this part.
just fucking damn it. So the machine not only just like teleports both of them, it goes, well, if I'm going to send both of them somewhere, they're going to wind up in the same place. So might as well just make them into the same fucking thing.
Yeah, it like fuses them.
So they're fused at a molecular level. And so all this fucking sex that happens after this makes sense when you think about the fact that flies have a tiny, tiny lifespan, right?
Yeah, and they just want to spread their
All
seed.
they're there to do is procreate. So
right.
That's the fly half of Seth Brundle now going, I need to fuck something. I need to fucking have sex. When she's like,
he's got like that.
she says to him, like, there's gonna be nothing but dust coming out of you at a certain point.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just that primal urge, and he can't get over it. He's feeling phenomenal. He's got all this power, all this strength that he's never had before. I bet he doesn't get motion sickness anymore. So yeah, it's the first time that really clicked with me.
Well, at one point, Goldblum uses this great fucking line, "You're too chicken shit to join the dynamic duo crew."
Yeah.
Yeah. he says,
"What a fucking coke addict."
And he's like, "You're jealous. You're jealous."
Yeah.
That's what it is. Also, was the gymnastics scene in The Lost World a callback to the gymnastics scene in this movie? Because I think there's no way that it can't be, right?
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. Well, the line is he still in love with you? And she goes, well, how could he not be? Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent line.
Yeah.
She's so
absolutely.
good in this.
Also, yes. And this is apparently her break.
Yeah.
Like Cronenberg was looking for a female lead, and Goldblum was like, how about my girlfriend? And they're like, we don't, like, come on.
Yeah.
And then she was the only one that Cronenberg was like, ah, shit, that's the best one. That's it.
What's great
Holy
too
shit.
is like the emotional parts of this movie would not work without the chemistry between Goldblum and Geena Davis. And she carries the movie with her reactions to Seth. Her reactions to him just being violent and belligerent, the reactions to his body literally falling apart and becoming cancerous. Like the scene when like go ahead.
Well, her reactions are like they're not of absolute disgust, they're more like sympathetic.
Yeah.
She's like, oh shit, are you okay?
Yeah. When she's crying as his ear falls off, like that right there is perfect. It's where when we did our last episode, when I was with you guys for 30 Days of Night, we talked about how bad that romance went over. It's not convincing. It's very wooden. This was genuine, and that only comes from, you know, having two fucking class actors like Geena Davis and Goldblum.
Yeah, for sure.
I like at one point when Goldblum's acting like a meth addict, he's like, does this look like a sick man to you? And he punches the wall. Yeah. And like, I just remember like my family, like we had an intervention for a meth addict. He went, does this look like a sick man to you? And he punched the wall and broke his hand.
And you went, oh, The Fly. Hey,
I remember this one.
But hey, I have a podcast. You should check it out.
You also see how like delusional he is, because at one point he thinks the Brundlefly would make a good children's book.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's exactly like a drug addict type of reaction.
And he starts saying like he becomes self-aware when he realizes he's a fly man.
Yeah.
And he becomes he's like, have you ever heard of bug politics?
Yeah.
And then like, so he knows, he's like, I'm losing what is human in my mind. And that's when he's like, I think you should leave because I don't want to hurt you.
Yeah.
So like he still has that, like he cares for her, but he knows he's losing.
Yeah. That's the part that
like,
I had written down in my notes that was like very Mary Shelley. It's that last bit of humanity that he's holding on to for dear life, where he's like, oh, this is going to end badly because the fly part of me is willing to do whatever it takes to purify my body, and I'm going to wind up hurting her. But yeah, when he starts getting like everything, it's just like, I love it. That's nasty. And then he just goes out with no shirt, but a leather jacket. And he fucking, Yeah, like what the score during that part
Excellent.
too is
Excellent.
phenomenal. Howard Shore is the composer for the movie, and like throughout the movie it's just like a bunch of horns and stuff.
Yeah.
And this is the 80s, so you would expect that it would be like a lot of synthesizers, and it's not that at all. I have this score on vinyl. It's so fucking good. So good.
Yeah. I have written down, remember, all right, the scene where he buys Geena Davis a necklace and then he whispers in her ear. Obviously he says, "I love you," right?
Yeah.
I have written down, I think what he said was buzz buzz.
Nice. Fucking sick.
I'm really proud of myself for that one, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I wrote that down. I was like, this is gonna kill.
Wouldn't it be funny
It's
if
gonna kill.
after he leaned in to whisper in her ear, she started swatting around? Like, what the fuck is
Yeah,
that?
she's like, what the fuck is it? I think there's bugs out here. And he's like, buzz, buzz, baby. This is also like, while it's classic body horror stuff and like a great story with emotional beats and all that stuff, it's also bare bones and absolute Spider-Man villain origin story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is like every Spider-Man villain's like a science experiment gone wrong.
Yeah.
His true love was murdered. Although she doesn't murder, but you get the point. And he's like, I hate the world.
Yeah. He might as well be Man-Bat. Like that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's Scorpion, it's Rhino, it's what are the other ones? Dr. Octopus.
Mm-hmm.
It's every Spider-Man villain.
Octopus.
Every single one.
Dr.
And
Puss.
it's based it's based on an animal. Like, it's classic Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah. 100%. And I always love the bar fight when he just breaks that dude's arm and he walks out like nobody. Yeah. Like nobody touched me. That's it.
But the girl just goes with, she's like, okay.
Yeah. Are you a
right.
bodybuilder or something? And he just goes, yeah, I build bodies. I take them apart and put them back together. I
love it.
This go around, when he says that, I thought of that meme with the Sistine Chapel. Yeah, I can paint your fucking ceiling. Gonna put a bunch of dicks on it though. It's said with that same sort of attitude. But then like after that scene, then comes the fucking nail biting, where like his nails start to fall off and all the water. That's the stuff that disturbs me. The falling apart of the human body, and
then he keeps it in his medicine cabinet.
His dick is 3,000% in that.
Yes, for
his
sure.
Dick
That's what
is
I said.
100% in that.
For
is
sure.
it really?
Did
you
walk
see
around
it
naked after that?
I think so.
I think you see it. Yeah, because I was like, "What is that? That's a pretty like
that's a
phallic looking thing."
I didn't even notice.
That looks like mine.
Didn't even notice.
But yeah, when he opens up the medicine cabinet, I was like, that's definitely a dick in there. But yeah, like that scene and the goofy ass animation when he's asking the computer, like, what's going on? Also, I love that that's basically fucking old school WebMD. He's just like typing into the computer. I wrote in my notes, 80s WebMD machine. If Brundle absorbs fly, what is prognosis? The machine says cancer.
Well, that's what he assumes it is at first. He's like, I have some aggressive form of cancer. It's like, what gave you that idea?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense if you like teleport yourself. You'd be like, all right, the first thing I'm gonna get is like some sort of radiation poison.
Yeah.
Like, go to the
right.
doctor.
So I would be like, okay. Yeah, that would be my first move for sure.
But no,
as soon
he's
as I
so
teleported
concerned
myself,
with
like, I should see a doctor.
Yeah. But he's so concerned with keeping his experiment a secret and not revealing it until it's perfected that he's like, no, you know, we'll avoid the doctors. Fuck it. We'll figure this part out. I got to make sure my experiment's good. Just, again, he just keeps fucking kicking himself in his own ass.
Well, he looks at the monkey and he's drunk. He goes, yeah, he's probably fine. He looks fine.
I like how he goes into the machine again with the bar floozy.
Oh,
like he has her watch as he goes through it again.
Does that,
and I was like, ooh,
like,
that's cool.
Does that, because his whole point with the reason that the steak tastes synthetic, right, is that it's the machine's interpretation of what a steak is supposed to be. So it can get the look and the texture and everything else, but it can't quite get the taste, right? So does Brundle going through the machine again further fuck up the machine's interpretation of now what this man fly thing is supposed to be?
It's got to.
Because that's
yeah,
the point where
probably.
he's like, oh, fuck, like something's going on.
Yeah, because it probably just
it stands to
reinforces the
reason.
machine's idea that it's Brundlefly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is Brundlefly. Also, I
Like
fucking
this-
love that name, Brundlefly. It's so
Brundlefly,
simple.
Yeah.
It's
Great.
can't kill
This movie
Brundle.
is great.
and yeah, the makeup throughout his whole entire transformation and just disintegration is so fucking good.
Oh yeah, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
From him
Yeah,
like
it's-
looking
it's
like
awesome.
Michael Jackson in the Thriller music video to then the next time
Yeah.
around he's like, oh, I feel much better. I'm fucking walking on the ceiling, which again,
Yeah.
that's old school in camera tricks. It's something
Right.
it's something for people to react to. It's something that looks real, and that's why it still holds up till today.
Which is a weird thing because he seems to like be super healthy and then he's sick. And then he's super healthy and then he's sick again.
I think it's like his body adjusts and then it's like, oh, I'm changing even more
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
a fly
Yeah.
man.
It's the
then
different
it, like,
life stages of a
adjusts.
fly. He's the pupa, the fucking
Yeah.
chrysalis, and then fucking finally whatever the fly is. I
He's
don't know.
the fupa.
The pupa.
Nice.
So yeah, I have in
I
my
mean-
notes Brundlefly pregante.
Nice. Yeah, there's a lot of abortion talk in this, huh?
There sure is.
Well, yeah, I mean, if Brundle was a politician, what do you think his stance on abortion would be?
Oh, he's definitely pro-abortion.
Brundle, yeah, Brundlefly.
Brundlefly, yeah.
no.
If he does go into
Brundlefly
bug
is
politics,
not for abortion.
no.
He was like, yeah, you ain't killing that kid. Not that abortion is murder. You know what I'm trying to say.
Hey, it was the 80s.
But that's the thing. It's the 80s, so you could just get an abortion anywhere.
That's
Tell
true.
that to the
That's true.
fucking
Isn't
surgeon
it-
that refuses to do it until he asks 21 questions.
That's true. Isn't it weird that back in 1986, women had more freedom than they do now? Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird?
No.
It's almost as if we're going back in
What?
time.
Why'd Rob say?
I don't think it's weird. It's a direct consequence of our choices as a nation to constantly vote for people who fight against our interest.
Like Brundlefly.
Hey.
Oh, is that cutting me off before I get too fucking deep into it?
No, I genuinely thought I was being funny. I'm sorry.
But like you
We
just
live in dark times,
you just
is
know
what
in
we're
certain states Geena Davis is the villain.
Yeah.
Greg Abbott's sitting there getting get her Brundlefly, get her Brundlefly. Greg Abbott.
But that dream where she gives birth to the fucking larva, it's like squiggly.
Yeah.
I was like, ugh.
Which
Ugh.
also, that's not, I don't think that's a dream. I think that's just what happens. That's how, because she gives birth to
Like
a
later
larva in The Fly too.
Does she? See, if the Fly 2, don't even touch Geena Davis or any of the previous characters. Use the bar floozy. He banged her.
There you go.
Just have a totally separate thing.
Yeah.
I didn't see The Fly 2, but that sounds stupid.
We were talking earlier about how David Cronenberg, if he was to do a sequel, he didn't want to do anything related to any of the characters from the original. And the fact that The Fly 2 is pretty much just a retread of the first movie is the exact reason why Geena Davis decided not to come back. So they have a different actress play Geena Davis in the beginning of that movie, and then
And spoiler,
another-
she's in it
another
for the
reason-
very beginning and dies.
yeah, that's it.
Classic.
So it's like, just spitting in the face of that other movie. It's not a terrible movie. It's just like, okay, we've seen this already. Tell a different story.
So wait, so she gives birth to a fly boy.
No, she gives birth to a larva, and then that splits open and a boy comes out.
And they're just like, okay,
Yep.
Yeah.
that boy can just join
Well,
society.
the
they don't do experiments on it
Bartok-
or anything.
the Bartok company, the company that's been financing Seth's research, takes the boy in as their property because they figure, oh, if this is the child of Seth Brundle, we owned his experiments. This must have been another one of his experiments, and then they keep him there. So it's worth a watch. Just don't go in expecting high art like this one.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think I was
I
going
just
to.
would have. I would have went with the bar floozy and just had a random like fly boy out in the world, and like as he gets older, he's like, "What's going on? I'm a Spider-Man villain," and then Spider-Man shows up. He's like, "Swip."
Okay, so I feel like you're making a Spider-Man film.
Oh, 100%.
Okay. As long as we're very clear about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I watched this with my wife, and I reveled in the fact that she was like, "Oh my god, I can never look at Jeff Goldblum the same way." I was like, "Yes." Yes.
It's funny because it was like me neither, but in a totally different way.
It had the opposite effect on you.
Yeah, like I was legitimately disappointed when he was in the pod and like very tastefully positioned. I was like, fuck. I was legitimately disappointed. I was like, ah.
Well, I mean, this movie is it's a sexy movie, but also a disgusting movie. And that
I wouldn't say sexy. I would
it.
use the term horny. Like, it's not sexy, but they fuck a lot.
I think this movie's sexy.
Because it's a lot of like gross fucking.
I'd say it's sexy and horny. I'd say it's both.
Okay. Okay.
It's sortsy.
Okay.
It's steamy. I mean, that resonated with audiences. This is Cronenberg's. I think this is Cronenberg's biggest financial success. When it comes to theatrical releases, the budget for the movie was somewhere between 9 and 15 million, and the movie made $60.6 million.
Gosh darn!
They just advertised it like, "Come look at Jeff Goldblum's cum gutters." Jeff Goldblum's cum gutters and Geena Davis side boob.
Nice.
Coming this summer.
I know they said, I know in the promos they used, be afraid, be very afraid.
Yeah.
And Geena Davis says that to the bar floozy.
Yeah.
And I said, right after she said it, I turned to my wife, I go, iconic.
Oh man. I love like the turn that the movie takes too once Seth realizes that Ronnie's pregnant with his baby. Like he's on the roof like a fucking Ninja Turtle staring at her and Stannis.
Yeah.
He jumps through the window of the abortion clinic.
I
mean, it makes sense that he has that ability though, because he's like super strong. They proved that already. So like that didn't take me out of it that he did that. Oh
no, that didn't take me out of it. It was just in this whole movie, it's like not grounded, but like there hasn't been someone jumping through windows yet.
No,
I would love to see a grounded version of The Fly, like fucking Christopher Nolan's The Fly.
Yeah.
Just make it more realistic.
So like I was just amazed when she's sitting there and she's like, "Yeah, get this fucking thing out of me, Cronenberg," because he was playing the oncologist, I think they're called, right?
There goes a fucking trivia question.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I like how it's not the fact that I called the gynecologist an oncologist.
Yeah.
But she was like, "Get this out of me," which apparently she doesn't do. She's like, "Oh, no, you know what? I'm going to give birth
There
to
goes
the
another fucking trivia question.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, "There goes the neighborhood." Like, fuck them. Oh, shit, honey. The Brundleflies are moving in.
But like it stands to reason that after everything she experiences from the end of the movie, even before the end of the movie, she's like, "I want this thing out of me."
Yeah.
Then she goes through everything, watches her ex-boyfriend get an arm and a leg melted off, and then
which is fucking sick.
Yes,
that is sick.
I love that
she
fucking
blows
scene.
the brains out of this flyman machine thing, and then she's like, "Nah, I'll take this to term." Nah, she's gonna go right to the abortion clinic right after.
Yeah.
Well, so she hesitates before she shoots him in the head. She's like, "Fucking cap him!"
Yeah.
I love that though. I love the emotional weight.
Yeah.
Like again, the chemistry between Geena Davis and Jeff Goldblum is what makes that last scene so powerful. Like I watched this movie and no longer like am super disgusted by it just because I've seen it so many times, but it still hits so hard every time when she's like, "I can't do it," and he just, like you said at the beginning, Andy,
and he like,
picks up the fucking barrel and just puts it to his head.
Yeah.
You know that's the last bit of Seth Brundle being like, "Please
that's the
just
last
fucking kill me."
Human part.
It's so fucking tragic.
I love like after he does the vomit thing and melts the bad guy or the ex guy.
Yeah,
Stathis Borans.
He grabs her and he's like, "We're going in the pod, baby."
Yeah.
And then his fucking face melts off.
Yeah.
And she rips off his jaw.
Yeah.
So
and
good.
then but then his face just like falls off, and he's like, I'm a fly. and she's like, Jesus.
I would have.
I love it. I fucking
the movie
love it.
to end like that. He just shakes.
I'm a fly, baby.
I'm a fly, baby. Daddy's home.
But like, as my wife and I watched it, like at that, because this is the part I start to remember. I remember her ripping off the jaw, and I remember his face falling off, and I was like, oh shit, this is it. And like, as like my wife, one half of his face melts off. She's like, ow! And then the next part, she's like, ow! I was like, yes. Just love it. I love this movie. It's so good. And it's it's entertaining, but also disgusting, but also like sad, but also like hell yeah at the same time. It's like all those things.
Well, after Brundlefly like melts Stathis' hand and leg off, and he's about to kill him, Geena Davis is like, "Please don't kill him." I'm gonna be honest. If I'm Stathis, no, you can kill me, dude.
Yeah, like, please finish the job.
The amount of pain I am in right now, melt my brain, please.
Yeah, and then he tries to save the day. He picks up the shotgun. He gets up, and then he's just like, I can't fucking do this thing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been funny because he had to shoot the shotgun with one hand if he shot it and just went flying back.
And that's how he dies.
He accidentally shoots Geena Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that last form, man, that's like the gnarliest fucking thing. The Brundle booth. I fucking love it.
It says Brundlefly has fused with Telepod.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
my wife at that point, my wife was like fed up. She's like, "Oh, now he's a fucking machine. Now what's going on here?" It's like, just take it in. Just take.
The movie's about to end.
Yeah, we got like 3 minutes. Just watch it.
It's not like he's turning into a Terminator now. Like the movie's gonna end.
It's not like he's fused with like 16 other things. Like, oh, now he's a machine. What's next? Like, it's just a man and a fly.
The movie just continues with him fusing with different things in the fucking apartment. Oh shit! It's the Brundlefly chair.
Oh man, of all the fucking visuals in this movie, the one thing that got me as a kid and still gets me when I fucking watch this movie now is the close up of the drawing of the fly that the computer shows him. I fucking hate, I hate flies. I hate insects. I hate like close up photography of insects. Just fucking skews me the fuck out. And that like SpongeBob close up of the fly gets me every fucking time. It's so fucking gnarly. I'm so happy to hear that you guys like feel that the movie is like tragic though. That it holds that emotional weight. Because like I said, the last time
I didn't think it was very tragic.
Really?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it for
I didn't think I'm starting to realize I have no emotional weight to anything because I'm just sitting there going, fucking shoot him! Fucking shoot his fucking brains out! What are you waiting for? I'll be honest. If someone said to me, Rob, I want you to pull the plug, I'm not even hesitating. Thump.
All right, later.
Bye, Dad. Thump.
Meanwhile, they're like, I want you to pull my finger. No, my finger, Robbie. Ugh.
Yeah. When my wife and I were I don't know if I told you, my wife and I watched this, but she was like,
hey, did your wife and you watch?
She was like, yeah, man. Yeah, let me tell you all about it. But she was like, I'm sorry, but if you were like a fly, man, like I would have killed you a while ago. It's like, I get it.
Yeah. So meanwhile, wives can ask us, would you still love me if I was a worm? But if I turn into a fucking fly, you're gonna kill me.
Yeah, I think everyone knows not to ask if I would love them if they were anything else because I barely love anyone as is. I'd be like, you're pushing it as a fucking human, okay?
My wife goes, would you love me if I had a penis? I said, I'd probably love you more.
Nice.
So, I mean, do we have anything else to say about this, or should we get into question?
Yeah, I'm ready to get into some questions.
All right.
Should we do the Wheel of Names?
Sweet Lord, no.
I have the Wheel of Names, baby! Wheel of Names!
We'll just do Rob, Andy, and then I'll go last.
No, we're doing the Wheel of Names, John.
Robbie's bought out by Big Wheel.
Up.
He's a shill for Big Wheel.
That was Big Wheel was the first ever lobbyist company.
Yeah.
Big Wheel.
But it's just like those tricycles with the big one wheel.
It's the literal big wheels.
It's the big wheels.
Andy, you go first.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, here's my first question. And this is part 1 of like 5 questions. Number 1. Where did Brundle get the baboons? That's not just something you could just get.
That's not.
No.
That is...
Bartok Industries was
Should I
like,
ask-
baboons? Sure, why not?
We got you. Should I just keep going, or you wanna?
Oh, that wheel's a going, baby.
Okay, here we go.
I think it's gonna be you again anyway. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be you again anyway. It is. It's you again anyway.
All right.
I don't know if you guys have noticed. I've also upped the volume of the applause.
I did notice that. What did they do with the inside-out baboon?
That's where
Eat
the
it.
steak came from.
Yeah.
Good Lord. And she was like, "This tastes funny."
He's
goes,
like, it's
"You're eating the
inside-out
Yeah.
baboon."
Oh
no! The one thing I'm
Imagine it was already cooked from the machine.
I don't know. That thing looked
pretty
fresh.
fucking raw, yeah.
It was still fucking living.
All right, I'm up. Hey, if Goldblum has 5 sets of clothes, what does he wear on weekends?
His fly wings.
He just puts on the wings. He just dresses like a scene. He dresses like a scene girl, but instead of cat ears, it's fly wings.
Nice.
All right, what the fuck were Christopher Lloyd and that guy from Home Improvement doing in the arm wrestle, like in the bar, arm wrestling one another?
Was that really Christopher Lloyd?
No, but that guy looked like Christopher Lloyd, and the other guy looked like that dude from Home Improvement.
Al Borland. I know you're talking about the guy who played Al
Yeah,
Borland,
it looked exactly like him.
who also hosted Family Feud for a while.
So when Ronnie gets the hairs tested, she says to Seth, "Oh, it's bug hairs," and he goes, "That's silly. That's ridiculous. You fucking created teleportation, but bug hairs are fucking silly."
Yeah.
That's the part. He's like, no, that can't be real. You're pulling my leg.
Putting my bug foot down.
You're pulling one of my 4 legs. All right, John, go ahead, ask another question.
Christ, it's my last one. So Seth fears that if Bartok Industries and all his colleagues and everything find out what he's doing, he'll be ruined. I think I asked this before, actually. Like, is there no oversight committee? Is there no one watching where the money's going, or like going in and just, hey, just visiting, just want to see what the fuck are those things?
Yeah.
It was the 80s. That's when America was free. There's no oversight. It's the 80s.
Oh, they must have been in Alaska where people go for freedom.
Yeah.
How you like that callback?
Yeah. Ain't that why we live out here, to avoid all them big You're up here. Blah blah. Andy, you're up. You're up here.
Where did the successfully teleported baboon go? It just kind of disappears after that scene.
That's true. He like jumps out, gives Goldblum a big old hug,
And then he's like, later.
He has like the kennel.
Bye.
He has like the little like carrier by the door when you come into the
He's
apartment.
got 2.
Yeah, but that's
well, yeah,
the
because he
baboon.
once had 2 baboons.
Yeah, that's the baboon that he uses in the monkey cat scene.
Ah.
Yeah, so he fucking killed that one too.
All right. Okay.
No, you wait for the wheel.
You're right. I'm sorry. Hey, Brundle, Geena Davis, why wouldn't you teleport the steak before you teleport a live baboon?
That's a good question.
That is a good question, isn't it?
That is a good question.
Considering the baboon turned inside out.
All right, I'll end with my last two questions. One, how does Geena Davis not ask about all the acne that suddenly appeared on Jeff Goldblum's face and body while they're fucking? Like, girl, have some self-respect.
Yeah.
It was the 80s.
She doesn't tell him he looks like shit until like way later. She's like, you look like shit, you smell like shit.
Yeah, like not once while they're fucking beforehand is she like, hey, have you washed?
I've never been much of a bather.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's what it is.
Yeah. And my final question is, how many animals did he kill?
At least one.
At least. All right, you guys want to do some trivia?
Yeah.
Sure do.
Oh, guys, I have really good news.
The wheel's
It's
back.
the Wheel of Names again. The wheel is back.
Yuck. Yuck.
All right, this is objectively the best way to do trivia. Objectively. You know why I say objectively? Because it makes me right. Yeah, I go first. Fuck you. Fuck you. All right, here's one we touched on before, so you should get it. When Jeff Goldblum was a kid, what did he vomit on? His dad's sweater, his tricycle, his pet dog, or his Lego set?
His 360.
Andy.
Andy.
His tricycle.
It was his tricycle. You're both right. You're both
I forgot
absolutely
we're
right.
supposed to say the name first.
It's fine. It's fine. I always fuck that shit up too when we have guests. Because we're still perfecting how we do this. Andy, ask the next question.
All right. What is the baboon's name? Thank you. Thank you.
I'm really mad because Rob, I know the answer to this, Rob. It's Typhoon.
Okay. Yes.
But real quick, I'm going to throw in, I had a question too. So, did you have a joke answer to yours?
I got Hurricane, Typhoon, Stormy, or Jeff.
Okay. My question was worded differently.
Okay.
Mine was, the real-life baboon in the movie is named after what disaster? And I said, hurricane, earthquake, typhoon, or Ronald Reagan's destruction of the lower and middle classes with the use of AIDS, crack, and trickle-down economics.
Very good. Very good.
How appropriate for an 80s film.
Typhoon.
Yes. It's Typhoon. It's Typhoon. Oh, we're just going in. I don't think I should hit the wheel anymore. Andy, go again. We don't need the wheel. We'll just go with who gets it right. Hold on. There we go. Go ahead.
All right. What famous comedic actor is a producer on this movie? Is it A, Leslie Nielsen, B, Steve Martin, C, Martin Short, or D, Mel Brooks?
John. Melly
Yes.
Brooks.
Correct. I was very surprised when I read that. He also pitched Be Afraid, Be Very Afraid as a line.
I dig it. I love Mel Brooks.
I love Mel Brooks too.
Do you? Do you, Andy?
Yeah.
Shit, they're gonna fight.
Or are we gonna kiss?
No.
Fingers crossed.
All right, John. What's your question?
Okay. Well, you knocked out two of my questions, so no, actually, this one still works. According to an alternate ending, what happens to Seth and Veronica's baby? Does she A, get an abortion? B, she has the baby and it kills her during childbirth, eventually becoming a fly like Seth? C, she keeps the baby and it becomes a butterfly? Or D, life finds a way and it becomes a dinosaur?
Andy.
Andrew.
It becomes a butterfly.
Boom.
Yeah,
That's right.
I
Was that
read
C?
that and I said, yeah, C.
That's what I was gonna guess also, but
I read that and I said, that's wacky.
It is really fucking wacky. And like, so the way that alternate ending was pitched, it was going to be like a stinger after the credits. Ronnie wakes up from a
what
nightmare.
are they, Marvel?
Ronnie wakes up from a nightmare and Stathis like comforts her and he's like, it's okay. And she's like, I had a dream I gave birth to Seth's baby. And he's like, don't worry, this baby's mine, remember? And it's like, after all that, she winds back up with him, and then she has the dream, and she sees the baby come out of the cocoon, and has the butterfly wings and shit, and flies away. And then, test audiences were like, fuck that guy.
Yeah, because
the next movie was Godzilla vs. Mothra.
Nice. Well, like, why would she end up with him? Number one. Number two, why the fuck would that be a butterfly? There was no butterfly in that teleportation booth.
I also like to think that if they did that, when Stathis wakes her up, he like wakes her up with like just a bone sticking out of his like hand.
Yeah, like nobody like quantifies that. It's just like
it's just the fucking
like
bone sticking out.
Bloody bone. It's
like a fucking peg leg from the elbow down.
Yeah. He's like, don't worry, but
whoa, John, do you think he pegged her? Or she pegged him? Damn it. Do you think she pegged him?
He's like, don't worry, babe, but also, can you take me to a fucking hospital? It's been weeks.
Don't worry, babe, but can you peg me?
This thing is festering.
All right, Andy, what's your next trivia?
All right. Who was offered the role of Seth Brundle? Was it Richard Gere, Ted Danson, Michael Keaton, or Nicolas Cage?
Rob.
Yes.
Richard Gere.
Incorrect, Robbie. John, would you like to take a guess?
What were the choices again?
Here I go. All right, Ted Danson, Nicolas Cage, or Michael Keaton?
I'll say Michael Keaton.
Correct. Michael Keaton.
Nice.
Also offered the role was Mel Gibson and James Woods, two all-around great guys.
All-around great guys. Mel Gibson would have been a really interesting choice. No abortion!
Yeah. Also, Willem Dafoe and Richard Dreyfuss both turned it down.
Willem Dafoe would have been a wild choice.
Yeah, he would have been great.
I could also imagine Mel Gibson in this role asking Geena Davis' character, Quaif, what kind of last name is that?
Also, John Lithgow auditioned.
Could you imagine Lord fucking Farquaad as the Fly?
Well, John Lithgow's got chops.
He's fucking.
Oh, Lithgow's a great actor, but I don't see him as the Fly.
Yeah.
He's not sexy.
He doesn't have that rock star sex appeal of all-around incel Seth Brundle.
Yeah.
Like, do you think 1986 John Lithgow has cum gutters?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't work.
He was also offered the role of the Joker for Batman.
Who, Lithgow?
Yeah, that casting agent was the real Joker. So, do I go next?
Nice.
Yeah, you're up next.
Yeah, you got it right.
All right, we'll go with this one, even though Robbie knocked this one out too. What role did director David Cronenberg play? Was it A, the guy in the bar, B, the surgeon at the hospital, 3, Stathis, or 4, the first baboon to go through the telepod?
Rob.
Roberto?
The pussy doctor.
What, he was a coward?
Would you prefer female spelunker?
Christ.
No.
All right,
No,
I was okay. I was like, that deserved a much heartier laugh than it got. What Chinese dish does Seth mention to get Ronnie to stay? Spicy eggplant, sweet and sour eggplant, sesame eggplant, or eggplant fried rice?
You telling me an egg fried this rice?
Yep. Nice. An eggplant. The old question, what came first, the eggplant or the egg?
That's very funny. I've never heard that.
Wait, are you serious?
I'm dead serious. That is very funny. You tell me an egg fried this?
I'm infuriated.
You
it's a
haven't
fucking
heard?
meme.
Yeah, you haven't
I've
heard?
never heard that.
You telling me a shrimp fried this rice?
He's never seen that all over the internet. That's been over the internet for a year and a half.
I've never seen it. That's genius. All right, Andy.
Go for it.
I forgot all your choices. Sesame fried eggplant. Is that one of them?
That's you combined two of them.
Hey, it's got to be one.
Nope, it wasn't either of them.
Ah, shit.
Oh, man.
The options were spicy eggplant, sweet and sour eggplant, sesame eggplant, or eggplant fried rice.
Sesame fried eggplant. I'm sticking to it.
All right,
Oh,
John,
boy.
your chance.
Spicy eggplant.
It is spicy eggplant, yeah. Which
Hey.
is what I called my penis, a spicy eggplant from all the STDs.
And it's because it's purple.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, from slamming in a door.
Yep. Oh God. Oh my word.
Oh. All right, John, you got another question?
Oh, I'm done. I'm all out.
Oh, I've got one more.
So do I. So Andy, go ahead.
All right, who was originally eyed to direct this movie? Was it Steven Spielberg, Martin Scorsese, James Cameron, or Tim Burton?
Rob. James Cameron.
Incorrect. John.
Was it Timmy Burt's?
It was Timmy Burt's. I feel like he would have done all right, but it wouldn't have been this good.
Yeah, I could see him doing really well with like the gothic horror aspects of it, but it would have had fucking Johnny Depp in it.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have been like.
I don't know if it would have had Johnny Depp. This is only a year after his like big debut.
Yeah.
Because this is only a
he's
year
too
after
young.
Pee-wee's whatever. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot.
Well, maybe remember.
Okay.
I mean, I think he would have done all right, but I feel like it would have gotten silly.
Yeah,
at some
Cronenberg
point,
was the
'cause
right
Tim
choice
Burton-
for this movie.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's Tim Burton movies like this. Sometimes, like even Batman, it's like, wow, this is cool. That's really silly. That's silly.
Yeah. Okay, fine. One last question. After Ronnie tells Stathis what happened to Seth, who does Stathis compare Seth to? Ava Braun, Benito Mussolini, Harold Holt, or Typhoid Mary?
John.
Okay.
Typhoid Mary.
It's absolutely Typhoid Mary.
I'm sure Typhoid Mary was
100%.
nice when you saw her socially.
Yeah, I'm sure Harold Holt was nice before he wandered off into the sea. That's for all our Australian listeners out there.
G'day, cunt.
Nice.
G'day, cunt.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Fuck.
Oh boy. So we mentioned before how Mel Gibson was considered for the role. Do you think if he got the role, he would have suggested they change the line to Ava Braun?
Very good. Very good.
I'm ready. I'm ready to get into these songs now. Oh, you know what we need to bring back for the songs?
Is it the fucking wheel, Robbie?
It's the wheel. It's the wheel.
Yeah, bring the fucking wheel back already then.
You know what, Andy? I think we're gonna talk about this because I'm spinning the wheel.
I'm upset.
Why are you upset?
I'm upset about the wheel.
Well, we have a winner, and it's John's going first.
Oh boy.
Hey.
Oh, he said, "Oh, I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to."
Okay, so I ran really short. I ran super short on time for this song, so I recorded this in 2 days. Like last time, the lyrics came first, and they came all at once, much like myself watching this movie and seeing Jeff Goldblum's what did you call them? Cum guzzlers?
Nope. gutters, because he's like cut, so like
I
it's like,
get it. I get it.
when he-
Okay.
Oh, okay. I was like, I
so
can't
I
believe I
got
have to like explain this.
I got scared for a bit. I thought I was gonna have like way less time than I actually did, and my initial idea was just to make a song of me going, "I'm a fly," and have it be like 30 seconds long. But I stuck with my original idea. I was saying earlier, I really, really love the score for this movie, but it's set in the 80s, and anytime I think 80s, I think synthwave. I really love bands like Carpenter Brute and The Midnight and Dance with the Dead. So I kind of went with that sort of vibe, sort of 80s synthy. And I'm endlessly fascinated by the new trend in pop music where people don't really sing. It's just kind of like a spoken with a slight musical cadence to it. So I tried not to care of the way I was singing. That's not an excuse for the sour notes you're about to hear, but anyway, We'll talk a little bit more afterwards. It's called On the Wings of a Fly.
Dissecting, I tear myself apart, half human, have something more evolved, understanding, their rules do not apply, my body a chrysalis, a pupa now, fly with me away from here, and dream with me this dream. Accept this gift I give to you, and promise not to scream. Body changing, no longer a man held down by frivolous human laws. Gaze upon me, I've altered the future of mankind on the wings of a fly. On the wings of a fly. I've altered the future of mankind on the wings of a fly. Do not shed a tear for me, this monster I've become. The bug has finally woken up, now man and fly are one. Body changing, no longer a man held down by frivolous human laws. Gaze upon me, I've altered the future of mankind on the wings of a fly. On the wings of a fly. I've altered the future of mankind on the wings of a fly.
You nailed that 80s sound on that.
Thank you. Yeah,
that was really cool.
Thank you. I really love that sound, and I've been like working on with other projects and stuff too, trying to get that 80s sound down, especially those tom fills. And yeah, I love that stuff. And yeah, trying to have like that cool mixture of that 80s vibe, the slower tempo, the lower register for the vocal part too, which is a little tough sometimes also.
You were hitting some low notes there.
Yeah, buddy boy.
Cool.
And the one thing I'm disappointed in is that I don't have a better saxophone simulator in GarageBand, because that guitar solo at the end was supposed to be a saxophone solo, and just the sax in GarageBand doesn't sound all that great. So yeah. But
what
go
I
ahead.
think I meant to ask you last time on the 30 Days of Night, but are you playing in D standard
I am. Yeah.
on your guitar?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I like
That's what
I like the sound of the resonance, and it's easier for me to sing in that register too. Anyway, 30
I
Days a
like
Night
the-
was way higher.
Right. But the low power chord you hit in this song was really deep and like it had that power, and I was like, that's D for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm thinking of just going D standard for everything.
John showing us his D.
Yeah, baby.
Nice.
But
I was playing
lyrically,
in E flat for a while, but I went back to E standard because it was just I got annoyed of doing it.
I have
all the
baby
time.
hands too, so like D standard with 11s on there, you keep the tension just enough, but it's easier to bend. But yeah, lyrically, I was thinking about the fact that Seth is just so full of himself and is so sure that what he's working on is going to change the course of mankind no matter what happens, and that's why he's so willing to go ahead and put himself through the machine. And then in the second verse where he's saying accept this gift that I'm giving to you, and do best not to scream. He's like, why don't you want to go through this machine with me? You can feel amazing, like you'll feel sexy and all that stuff.
Right.
And I also like I chuckled when I came up with that little wordplay out of the first verse into the bridge. A pupa now fly with me away from here.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Lyrical genius.
Oish.
A real John
really cool.
Lennon over here. I realized your name was John as I was saying it. I was like, it doesn't really work because his name is also John. But you're alive, so that's good.
Yeah. For now.
Well, you really you caught a vibe, as the kids say.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
You're so hip, Andy.
Thanks.
Ready for the wheel?
What does the wheel determine?
I haven't clicked it yet. I didn't know if John had anything else to say, so I was waiting. I'm up next.
Wow.
Woo!
Yeah.
Woo! That one guy in the back.
Yeah. Yeah, the segments we know are coming up. Woo!
Yeah, for the fireman.
All right. So I think my song is called Change. That's just what I went with.
Okay.
So I played around with some new stuff on this, and here it is. It's very slow. My song's called Change.
I feel a change coming. I'm feeling strange, honey. I'm feeling strong. I'll love it long. I'm climbing on the wall. Ignore your ex's call. I'm gonna change the world. Go out and take a girl. I feel a change coming. I'm feeling strange, honey. I'm no longer man, but I've always been monster. I will hurt you if you stay. You can't kill what's inside her. We got no time to waste. Blemishes on my face. Next step in evolution. Come be a three-way fusion. You cannot let me die. You cannot kill the fly. I am the one who's free. Oh God, please kill me. I'm no longer man, but I've always been monster. I will hurt you if you stay. You can't kill what's
God, please kill me. Oh God, please kill me. I murdered monkeys!
I'm no longer man, but I've always been monster. I will hurt you if you stay. You can't kill what's inside her. I'm no longer man, but I've always been monster. I will hurt you if you stay. You can't kill.
So that's my song called Change. It's really, I guess, obviously from the perspective mostly of Seth Brundle.
Seth Grundle.
Nice.
Nice.
I loved that.
Thank you.
I like
Yeah, it was
that
good.
this movie so far has been bringing out like slower tempo, very like pensive songs from us. That was really that gave me like a
Uh-oh.
similar vibe to
And he goes,
that reminded me a lot of Hurt by 9 Inch Nails.
okay.
Like that
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of feel with the piano and your voice. And that, did you use like was that a regular bass, or did
Yeah.
you do like the double bass in GarageBand?
I did the double bass, yeah.
Yeah, that sounded so cool. I loved it. It
Thank you.
fit the vibe. Yeah, I really dug that. And the fucking
Thank
I
you.
murder monkeys.
Yeah.
I didn't want to just yell. I was like, I don't want to yell, oh God, please kill me. I just feel icky yelling that. Like, it was one thing when I was like rhyming it with something. I didn't want to like yell out, oh God, please kill me. I felt icky doing that. I was like, it worked singing it with a line that rhymed with it. I don't want to yell it here. So
Yeah.
I'm going to sing that I murdered monkeys.
That was really cool though.
Yeah, that was cool. I liked it. And yeah, I think you're both touching on like the Brundle and his journey in this movie, where he's like, I'm great and I'm doing great things, and oh my fucking God, I'm a fly man. Like,
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean,
it was
and
good.
then,
I liked it.
all right, I'm going to stop talking about my song now. All right, let's see who's next.
Well, here we fucking go.
Nope, we got to see who's next, Andy.
All right. Well, my song
Hold on.
is.
Hold on. Okay, it's Andy.
Oh, he really used it. Okay. Thank the Lord. My song is called Flesh, which I decided on halfway through the movie, where he kept mentioning the word flesh. And I was like, I think that's the name of my song, baby. And my wife
Are
was
you
like,
saying
"Quiet down, trying to watch this
Fletch?
movie." Yep. I
Like, are we
said,
talking about the
"This-
Chevy Chase
my
film
song-
Fletch?
Yep. The my song about the movie The Fly is going to be called Fletch, after the Chevy Chase movie. Yep.
The Chevy Chase vehicle that is his film Fletch.
But I mean, it's definitely very different tonally from what you guys had. So
Hey, varieties
play
is
it.
the
We'll
spice of
talk-
life.
yeah. Just play it. We'll talk about it after. It's called Flesh.
Like I'm human again, 'cause I miss you.
Fletch.
Yep.
Oh man, I'm so glad that was so tonally different.
Yeah.
I had a riff and it was very different, and then it went into something like that, and then I was like, I got sick. I started feeling like crap, and then I revisited it yesterday. I was like, let me finish this song, and I was like, I can't finish this song because it's crap. So I rewrote it, and I like this a lot better. I figure like whenever I think sexy, I think minor 7 chords. So like that's what I put in there, because the movie's sexy, but like also he's talking about like how like you're not only are you bound to your flesh, you're bound by your flesh.
Yeah.
Is what he's like saying to her. He's like, like you're not thinking beyond your flesh. And she's like, well, I'm a fucking human being. So, and he's like, well, I'm a fly man and you don't get me. And
I thought you were going to say, when I think of sexy, I think of inside out baboons.
that too.
Missing their flesh.
That too.
Yeah, it felt like it reminded me of Fame. I'm gonna live forever. So that's what I was picturing, like a whole disco dance school. No, that was really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, also I show my dad some of these songs sometimes, and he's like, how come you're not playing guitar solos? I was like, all right, I'll throw one in there. Jesus. So, there's your guitar solo, Dad. I love you, Daddy. But
Papa.
But yeah, that's Flesh. I really like this movie, and I like the song that I made for it. I like the songs that you guys made for it, and I'm glad we watched this movie. Yeah,
I'm glad we watched this movie. Yeah, I really enjoyed it also.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I liked getting to watch the movie this time with a purpose, like trying to be nitpicky and then realizing like, no, this movie's fucking gold.
You know what's funny? I don't watch these movies to be nitpicky. I just take notes of what's happening and just write down exactly how I feel at the time.
I feel like I have to be thinking more than just, oh, this was one of my favorite movies.
I think that's also what the questions segment is for. Is like to just throw like, hey, what happened there?
Yeah.
You can still love a movie, but still be like, ah.
Yeah. Asking you questions.
Yeah.
That's why.
Hey, John, where can they find... Oh, shut me up. Go ahead. No, please. Please.
Sorry, you can take that again.
No, what were we going to say? Go ahead.
I forget what
I was going to start wrapping up the show.
I forget what I was going to say. You can go ahead.
I was just going to start wrapping shit up. I was going to say, so John, thank you for joining us. Where can they find you on the socials?
They can find me, my personal Instagram, over at Jon Von Frankenstein. They can find the Instagram for the podcast over at Scrap Metal Podcast on Instagram. And you can find us on TikTok as well. We post silly videos and we piss off Megadeth fans. That's at TikTok at the Scrap Metal Podcast.
Hello.
Is that your description about on your TikTok? Like, we piss off Megadeth fans?
That's my life goal, because we posted something sarcastic about Megadeth, and the Megadeth fans came out in droves to tell us how wrong we were. And I was like, I guess I wasn't sarcastic enough in this clip for you guys. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, fuck you, Dave Mustaine. Did I get that right?
But it's great.
There's a war. Yeah.
All right, cool.
More like Dave Mustard Stain.
Got him.
Andy and Rob, where can they find you guys on them socials?
Oh, you can find me at Robert Corridor on Instagram and Twitter. And you can find the Royds on Instagram at _Royds. Andy, where can they find our music?
You go to Spotify, you go to Apple Music, you go to anywhere you find your music streaming, and you search the Royds, ROYDS. You can also find our music for the podcast at the Royds, ROYDS.bandcamp.com. And yeah, we got a bunch of songs for the podcast. We got a bunch of songs on the Spotify and whatnot. We got 2 albums and a Christmas song. It's all hot fire.
Yes, indeedly do. Next week we're doing right?
Uh-oh. That's not it.
They were legal in my movie. Bye, everybody.
Bye.